Hi, this is Nick Weiss of MP Weiss Law. One of the common questions that we get for both our family law and our real estate is what do we do when we co-own a property with someone else that we're not married to? Sometimes that happens if you're dating and you and your boyfriend or girlfriend buy a house together. Sometimes that can happen with an inheritance where you and maybe your family members all are deeded a house. And you can't figure out what to do with it. Maybe you broke up, maybe the siblings can't figure out what to do in terms of selling it or in terms of someone wanting to live in it. When that happens, the court has a process called a partition. This is basically the court deciding for you what's going to happen to the property. One of the co-owners, has to file for this partition, and then the court is going to come up with a couple of things. One, they're going to determine who all the owners of the property are, and then they're going to determine the total value of the property, and then they're going to determine what equity everyone has. And that's not a straightforward determination. Everyone starts with equal equity. If it's two people who own it, that's 50-50. If we've got a bunch, it's divided into whatever proportion that is. But sometimes, particularly if you and your boyfriend or girlfriend own a property, the court can decide that someone owns more of the property than the others, regardless of what it says on the deed. Maybe someone put more of a down payment on. Maybe someone materially put a whole bunch of improvements on the property, or was responsible for paying all of the utilities and the mortgage, something like that. When that happens, the court can assign a different equity to the property in making that determination. And then the court can either have the property sold at auction and everyone gets that percentage split of equity, whatever's left over after mortgage is paid off, or one of the parties can determine to buy out the other's equity, like a forced buyout, depending on how the court decides to split up the equity. This can be a complicated process. It can be a long process. You can get your attorney's fees back at the end, but that is not common when this kind of thing goes on. If you need any assistance dividing a property that you might co-own with someone, please feel free to reach out and give us a call.